There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the well. A lot of people in need. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, we're not. Sorry. Can I help you? Did Keeper Aquilus send you? Oh boy. Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilus is describing. A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of do that. It's part of our core principles. There's no God pushing us to do good for some eternal reward. We have to help each other because we choose to. If no one takes responsibility for making the settled systems better, then we're just leaving it to the tyrants to bully the rest of us. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Besides what the Keeper would say about it, sounds like a gathering point, or a center. Or in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one, the first at the beginning. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate. Nice talking to you. Hope you find what... We started as an intellectual movement built around atheism. As our numbers increased, we began focusing on humanitarian efforts and showing what humanity can achieve when we work together. We don't exactly pass around an offering plate, if that's what you're asking. But we do run mostly on donations. And as you might have guessed from the surroundings, we try and stretch those donations as far as we can. Perfect. It just so happens there's a task I need help with right now. Indeed. Sometimes it just works out that way. People with mutual interests seek each other out, and by working together, we achieve something greater than ourselves. As for the job, I need you to pick up a man named Tahir over at the med bay. He's recovering from some injuries and needs assistance getting back to his apartment. I'd like you to pick him up, grab a bite to eat, and take him home. In one of the poorer districts, near where the children play soccer. Take him that far and he should be fine. Tahir is prideful, and I don't want him to feel like you held his hand. You just nudged him in the right direction. That's a touchy subject. Tahir's had several run-ins with UC security, including tagging, theft, and brawls. He also blames the UC for the conditions in the well, not to mention his own personal difficulties. And since he won't accept help from the authorities, the house is stepping in to provide some aid. I'm afraid not. Even after you're healed, it takes time to recover from something like this. Most people have family and friends to lean on, but Tahir has no one. On top of that, he's a young and prideful man, so he won't accept help from UC security. Great, you'll find him over at the med bay. He's probably hungry, so after you pick him up, escort him over to Kay's. She should have a meal ready for him to take home. And thanks.
I don't need your help. I can walk home on my own.
Suit yourself, but if you get lost or end up in a cell, don't blame me. I tried to help.
You need something? Hey, you wouldn't happen to know where the soccer nets are? My apartment's in the same area. I got a bad case of the brain fog. I can't seem to remember which way to go. Really? Is this some sort of scam? I'll have you know, I got no creds. Not yet. I'm actually starving, but I think I have some canned goods at home. I've got some chronic health problems. Aches, pains, you name it, I got it. Most days I can deal with it, but sometimes my body doesn't respond at all, and I end up in the med bay. They put me on some pretty hard meds, and it takes a while for the fog to clear. The doc said to give it a few hours, but I'd rather not stick around this dump any longer than I have to. Andy, sing. Well, if I'm gonna owe anyone, I'd rather it be the house than the UC. All right, you win. Seeing as I got no one else, might as well roll the dice with a stranger. So, go on, lead the way.
Always nice to see her. Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't. I've got it right here. Is this for you to hear?
Well, I don't have any credits, so...
Then you're good. I already talked to Andy, and this one's on the house.
Thanks, Kay.
You're welcome, kid. It's just good to see you alive and well. You know, there was a time when you'd be in here every night.
Things change, Kay.
I know. Believe me, I know. And I get it's hard to come out here, but just... don't be a stranger, okay?
I'm sorry. I'll try not to.
Good. I'm glad we got that sorted. Here's the soup. Be careful, it's a little hot.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand?
Sorry, can't play right now. Grounded.
Ah, here we are. Home sweet home. At the end of the day, home is home, even if it's a bad one. But thanks for the help. I probably would have found it on my own, but it would have been a chore. Oh, right, the soup from Kay's. Man, it's been a long time since I had a warm meal. You might say that. Before I got hurt, I used to stop by Kay's every night for a soup and a sandwich. It didn't matter how bad my day was, or how empty my pockets were. As long as I had my food and my beer, I'd be good. All that weight would just wash away. And to be honest, I haven't felt that feeling in ages. Until now. So, you doing this for me, it means a lot. Thanks. Thanks. I didn't know what to make of you at first. Not often you can trust a stranger down here. I'm Glad I did.